Good morning, kids. Today we are going to study environmental studies looking around. Our today's science topic is chapter number 8, a treat for mosquitoes. We had already covered few topics of this chapter in previous part of the video. Today we are going to continue with further chapter. Before proceeding further, let us quickly see what we had done till now. We had revised and we had learnt about blood test. We came to know that blood test is laboratory analysis. It is used to track your physical well-being. Generally, sample of blood is collected with help of syringe and sent for test. Various diseases like malaria, dengue, typhoid, etc. are diagnosed with the help of blood test. Then we learned about malaria. I hope you must be remembering malaria is a disease caused by female Anopheles mosquito. It is diagnosed by blood test. During rainy season, there are maximum chances of malaria as mosquitoes breed easily during this season. Malaria Day is also celebrated on 25th April to make people aware about malaria. Then, dear kids, we had studied the breeding cycle of mosquito. I hope you must be remembering there are 4 main stages in a cycle of mosquito. First one is eggs. Then eggs converts into larva. Larva converts into pupa. And within 2 to 3 days, pupa converts into an adult mosquito. Now, let us proceed with the chapter. Rajat, what did you do? Nancy, Papa immediately threw away the water. He cleaned and dried the pot and kept it upside down so that no water would collect. Jaskirat, Shazi auntie told me that even flies spread diseases, especially stomach problems. Rajat, but flies don't bite. Then how do they spread diseases? So kids, as we were discussing that 4 kids are there in this chapter, Rajat, Nancy, Jaskirat and Aarti. They were conversing about malaria. So, now they had a question for you. How do mosquitoes spread diseases? Or else we can say how malaria gets spread or transmitted. Basically, female Anopheles mosquito bite sick person. While biting, it sucks the blood of infected person. When same insect bite the healthy person, then malaria get transmitted to healthy person. These are steps not only for malaria but also for other diseases which are spread by mosquitoes or flies. But I have one more question for you. Can you tell me how I will come to know that I should go for the malaria test? Yes, there are some symptoms of malaria, some changes that happens in our body that make us aware that we need to go for malaria test. They are shivering, sudden high fever, headache, and vomiting. These are some symptoms of malaria. Now, when we have talked about the symptom, when we had talked about the diseases, so now it's time to talk about the medicine for malaria. Basically, the bark of cinchona tree contains quinine, out of which the medicine for malaria is made. Do you know, kids, who he is? Yes, he is Sir Renald Rose. He is very famous scientist. Why? I'll tell you. Sir Renald Rose, a British doctor who worked in India, and in 1897 he discovered that it is female Anopheles mosquito that spreads malaria. Earlier, people used to believe illness is caused by some poisonous gases that came from swampy areas. So they named it as malaria, which means bad air. Yes, he was the one who found that malaria is spread by female Anopheles mosquito. And also this fact helped doctors to make medicine for malaria. For his discovery, he was awarded by Nobel Prize in 1902. Isn't it interesting? Yes. Now, prevention is always better than cure. It is better to take some preventions rather than taking bitter medicine. So let us see some of the prevention that we should take to prevent ourselves from malaria. First one is, don't let water collect around your house. Keep the water pots, coolers and tanks clean. Use mosquito nets to protect yourself. Spray kerosene oil if water has collected at some places, because when you spread kerosene, then they form a thin layer on the water and prevents mosquito breeding. Fix wire nettings on windows to prevent mosquitoes from entering your house. Use mosquito repellent creams and light a mosquito coil at night. Wear clothes that cover your arms and legs fully so that mosquitoes could not bite you. So now it's time to learn about one more disease which is given in this chapter, that is anemia. What is anemia? Lack of hemoglobin or iron in blood causes anemia. Now you must be wondering, kids, what is hemoglobin? Hemoglobin is red color pigment that carries oxygen in the whole body. And if you are having lack of hemoglobin in your body, that means you are suffering from anemia. That is okay. But how will I come to know that I am suffering from anemia? There are some symptoms for it also, like weakness, pale skin, headache, not able to study properly, and irregular heartbeats. Now, when we know what is disease, when we know what are the symptoms of that disease, then we should also know that how we can cure ourselves from that disease. First one is you can eat jaggery that prevents you from anemia. You can also have amla or avla that is good for anemia patients. Next is you have to eat lots of green vegetable to prevent yourself from anemia. I hope, my dear kids, this chapter is clear to you. Thank you.